But you know, but it's that.
Preview book,
but it's that kind of almost like trying to. They do it in the media a lot. You know, if they ever talk about, you know, so if you said that Manchester in the '60s had, which is a fact, had the most nightclubs per head of population of anywhere else in Great Britain. In London, they'd go Manchester, which is said to have the Trafford Centre, which is said to be the biggest shopping centre, the Metro Centre in Newcastle, which is said to be. So they always like, whereas if it's in London, you just say it, even if it's not true. So there's always that kind of slightly disowning something or trying to put it down. You know, it's quite subtle.
They've done it this week with London's the hotbed of football in the world because of the most valuable players in the world come from London. Be like, well, wait. There's 500,000 in Manchester. There's 9 million in London. Like,
well, great. Manchester's got more like 4 million, but it's one of those. It's like even in music, you know, with Britpop.
Yeah.
Name the London bands in Britpop.
Well, you're gonna go Blur, which is Essex.
Well, no, it's not even Essex. It's Colchester. It's 65 miles away. Colchester's not. It's like it's further away. It's like going to York.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Britpop. I always think when I think of Britpop, I think of Supergrass, Elastica, bands that weren't really
from Oxford. Yeah. Supergrass, Elastica were from London, but they weren't really.
I know that's what I mean.
But then it's like whereabouts in London?
Wonders or something. I always think the Britpop thing was a bit sort of.
Well, it was like that Camden seed, and what they didn't want was they didn't want a continuation of the Manchester, if you like, and that's what Oasis were.
Yeah.
So they hated that because it was outside of their sphere of control. You know, they didn't want any of those bands to make it. I mean, it was quite funny with City Life magazine in Manchester. Yeah. Their tips for who was going to be big in 1989. And, you know, who from Manchester, and I can tell you one band that weren't included, the Stone Roses
weren't included in 89.
And they're the band who everyone was jumping on the coattails of. They became the battering ram for everyone.
Right.
And you know, Tony Wilson, God rest his soul, tried desperately then to get the Happy Mondays and the Hacienda involved in that. When really Factory Records in '89, who did they sign? To hell with Burgundy, a folk rock pub folk rock type band. The Little Big Band, that guy Rob Gray used to like busk in St Anne's Square, like a one-man band. And then a classical roster.
Isn't the charm of Factory Records that it was a fucking shit show? Isn't that half the charm of it though?
No, I mean, well, what it was that whole thing of, and I wrote an article when they did Manchester, the Sound of the North, right, which is that documentary where you thought, well, none of the black bands got mentioned in it. Yeah. There's no Ruthless Rap Assassins in there. There's no MC Busby, no Trapped in the Verse. So it's to try and create this scene of sort of white working class kids with big flares, as if they all come out of the Hacienda.